Hello and welcome to the game trailer of Happy Travels, a card game made by Donald Carême for his course of prototyping at DAE. So I made a travel game and you kind of earn points during your journey, and the one with the highest score in the end wins the game. So it's for maximum 4 players, and every player gets 1 personality card and 7 continent cards. Once you went through all the continent cards, you kind of finish the game, and once everyone has gone through all his continent cards, then the game is completely finished. So I'll explain a little further. You have transportation and fuel cards. Certain fuel cards are linked to transportation. So once you have the correct combination, for instance kerosene with a plane, you get to the next, you turn around one of your continent cards and you get to the next continent. If you have a wrong fuel card, for instance gasoline fits with a car and not a plane, then your turn ends and you put back the fuel, you keep the transportation card, and the turn is for the next person. If it happens 3 times in a row, the third time you go to the next continent automatically. If you get to a new continent by having the correct fuel and transportation, you throw dice, and if it's a 1, 2 or 3 you get a negative card. If it's a 4, 5, 6 you get a positive/volunteer card. So you throw 2 dice, so there are multiple possibilities with that. So negative cards, it's written down how many points you lose, and positive cards you get +1 point for every positive card, but they are linked to your personality cards, like fuel is linked to transportation. So if you have a positive card that fits your personality, for instance diving with adventurer, you get 3 points and not 1 point. And then you kind of keep playing the game like that. That's basically the game. Now there are some extra stuff. So for instance these extra cards, you see here South America, and if multiple people, 2 or more, are in the same country at the same time, they all take an extra card. There are 2 types of extra cards, direct and bet. A bet card you can keep with you and play whenever you see fit. A direct card you have to play instantly and do what the card says. And then there's one more thing I have to explain, that are the volunteer cards. So if you have completed your journey and you're done with your travels, but other people are still playing the game, then you kind of, the only way to gain points is by having volunteer cards. So if you drew volunteer cards during the game, then in the end game when you finished, you get, for every time it's your turn, you get +1 point for every volunteer card you have. So it kind of is interesting and a big deal, or you draw a positive card or just a volunteer card during your dice rolls. So that's kind of the basic game of Happy Travels.